Hey friends. Okay, so we're doing something a little differently this time. I am sitting in the office of Tim Long, who is usually the guy behind the camera for all of these local for locals, and I wanted you to meet the man himself. So here you go.
This is Loco for Local, where you can find out all the great places to support right here in our community.
How are we doing, Catherine?
Hey, friend.
It's always a challenge when you're trying to film yourself and you're like, oh, I'm normally the guy doing that, and I have to come over here now. So I think we figured out a decent setup, though.
We knew we wanted to do this, and we're like, how are we going to do this?
Almost asked my wife, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. We're going to do a single shot, and I think we'll be all right.
I think this is perfect. I think this is perfect. And then people get to meet you. It's funny because often in the videos, I'm like talking to Tim, like, oh, Tim, show this. Oh, Tim, do that. And now, this is Tim, guys.
Hi.
So Tim with Tim Long Studios and Tim Long Photography. What I think is really exciting about you and sets you apart from so many others, because you know it's like what makes us special, right? Well, what makes you special, I think, is your connection to people. And a word I've heard you use is humanity. So I mean, would you agree?
Yeah, I totally do. Yeah. Well, and it's interesting you bring that up, Catherine, because for me, when I'm talking to a client or potential client, that's actually how I phrase it, is that I'm a people person first and photographer second. When I was growing up, so I grew up overseas, and my dad would take pictures, and he just seemed to find a way to make it horrible for us. And like, it just was never fun. Like, he'd take pictures and he would make it just miserable. And so I knew from a very young age that it was not something I wanted to do. Didn't ever want to be a photographer. It was not my thing. My older brother got into it, and he's one of those what I call long form photographers. He'll take 10 minutes to take one shot.
Oh, wow.
And
so it's like the detail.
And he'll sit there and be like, hold on. I'm like, okay. I got stuff to do, man. So I think that's where, for me, all the different things I've done relationship work in the past. I've worked with other business owners, which is why I love working with you. But I've realized that people don't want to sit around all day, mostly. Some people I do. I've worked with entertainers. They love getting in front of the camera for me. Yeah. But mostly, people want to get a good picture, get a good video.
But they hate being in front of a camera.
And they want to be gone. So for me, I feel like that's where I put it all together. Yeah. And I recognize that, but then I also really love the work that I'm doing behind the camera because I'm a tech nerd. So for me, it's like, it's a marriage of two really incredible worlds.
Yeah, and I think you guys have seen, so like I said, so Tim does all of our local for local videos, but also all of those informational videos I have, like we've done things like, about loans or about new home construction or just like being a home buyer. All of that is Tim behind the camera. And one of the things that I really like is how it feels very organic. Yeah. And, you really, like we shoot a lot of those informational videos in my office, and every time you walk in, you're like, oh, the lighting's so perfect. And it's so pretty. He totally nerds out. It's really cute.
I really do. Well, and for me, it's like, I'm not the guy that tries to manipulate the situation a lot. Right. I know a lot of artists, that's their forte. I respect it, but that's not me.
There's different art forms.
Exactly, and I don't do a lot of retouching. I specialize, I think my wife called it natural, dynamic, and rich work. Oh. Those are the words that describe, Jacqueline. Yeah, right? Really, really great. But that's what, and real is the first part of that, is I want to capture as much of the actual moment as possible and have you remember it that way. There was a picture, I think, that our photographer got of our wedding. Jacqueline was of her back. And she instantly recognized it wasn't her back because one of the spots was missing. And she's like, that doesn't look like me. She's like, it's beautiful, but it wasn't me. And I'm like, those are the kind of people I'm for.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I have to tell you guys, he's being very humble, but you're on the vendor list for a couple of pretty important places in wine country. I mean, I do,
yeah. So if you've been to 𝓊𝓸𝓬𝓼 Winery, I'm one of their preferred vendors.
Who hasn't been to 𝓊𝓸𝓬𝓼 Winery?
If you live in the area, Temecula Valley area, you have to go try them. They're amazing, rustic winery out here, and I'm on their list to do works for wedding, for videos, all kinds of stuff, photography. And then there's this really cool place called the New Inn.
Which I'm dying to go to.
She's got to go. It's great. It's 5 rooms, most incredible little boutique place you've ever been to, and I do a ton of proposals. I at least do probably 2 or 3 proposals a month there.
And you just got to do a vow renewal.
That's true. So they specialize in doing custom off-the-wall things. So they do like a 30-year 𝓲𝓪𝓵𝓚 with like 8 or 10 people up on the top of their veranda. They served breakfast, and it was really, really wonderful, and I got to be part of it. And the bride and groom, 30 years later, still made me cry. So,
which is so beautiful, and I love that you get to capture those moments.
I get to be right a part of it. I be right in it with them, and it's the best.
And side note too, I mean, because you're great with people, but also he takes amazing car pictures.
Thank you.
It's always on your Instagram. I'm like, man, like even with your own car, like you're always taking cool pictures of your car just on the side too.
Yeah.
And I'm
well,
like,
I think
so
that's
good.
like my community give back piece, because I get to go to car shows, and you know, secretly I love the sound of a good V8. I just do. It's like there's nothing like it. It just rumbles.
So okay, so what can people hire you for?
Okay.
What are the services you provide?
Awesome. So I have two sections of my business: ₛ𝓮 Photography, ₛ𝓮 Studios. ₛ𝓮 Photography is exactly as it sounds: portraits, weddings, proposals, that kind of thing. And I could do other things also, but that's predominantly what that one's geared for. And then ₛ𝓮 Studios is what we're doing here: business to business, events, concerts. I recently shot Perry Farrell, the lead singer formerly of Jane's Addiction, in Los Angeles like a month ago, so that was really, really fun.
So fun.
But then
I'm sure
I
you
also
got to capture some really cool moments.
It was amazing. Well, I found out I got to be let in before all the other photographers for about an hour.
How special.
My buddy got me in. He's like, you get to be there before anyone else does. So I got a few pictures that no one else was able to get, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is
and that's the thing. Is like it's like, oh, that gives me a little something.
Well, yeah, because I feel like what's really cool, I mean, about your art is getting to capture moments, and you know, I think it's neat. I guess this is a really weird example, but like, okay, I don't have any tattoos because I'm terrified of the pain, but like, I would probably be that so unoriginal person that would go and pick a picture on the wall. And I feel like, okay, if you're gonna get a tattoo, get something cool with meaning, that, you know, like, I love looking at people's tattoos. I'm like, ooh, what's
that
the
mean?
story?
Where did that
what's
came
the story
from?
behind that? And it just like tells you something about them, because I love people. And I think that the photography and the videography is the same thing. And for you to get to capture a moment or an image that nobody else got to capture, to tell a story for that person, whoever that is just magic.
It is. Well, and it's interesting you mentioned tattoos. A buddy of mine, local car guy, I took a picture of his car. He got it tattooed on his bicep. My photo.
Ah, that's so cool.
So that was definitely like,
You're
reached
like,
a certain.
do you want me to sign it?
So I'll sign it for you also. Haha. You know, it was really cool. But it was like, that's the thing, is he loves his cars so much, and I got to take. And this is a guy. I mean, he's got like 16 cars, so he really does love his vehicles. And he loved this car and that photo so much he wanted to get it on his body, and that was like, okay, and I'm with you. I'm like, I couldn't decide, and I don't know if I want to go through the pain.
Yeah.
So I have no tattoos either, but I appreciate art in every form.
Yeah.
So there we are.
So, okay, how do they reach you?
ₛ𝓮photography.com, ₛ𝓮studios.com, and they both have adjoining Instagram handles that are identical.
Cool. Or you can bug me.
There you go.
Yeah,
that
absolutely. Works. Is there a phone number you want to share too?
Oh yeah, you can call me and text me. It's all there. But my phone number is 209-277-9144. That's a number from up north. I've just never changed it.
Well, gosh, yeah. I mean, I have a 310 number. I've never lived in LA. I have to tell people all that time, but like, it would literally be career suicide to change my phone number. So I'm stuck with it.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for spending time
Thank you
with
for
me.
coming and
inviting
me. Yeah, absolutely. No, I love my office, so I don't mind spending time. It's good.
Yeah, and I don't know if it picks up on it, but like, he's got some really cool school Lego too.
Yeah, I'm a Lego freak.
I love it.
It's on my website. It says I'm a Lego collector. So here we are. Who are we doing next time? Do we know?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. So what? They're gonna have to tune in and find out, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Bye, guys.
Talk to you soon.